They are not the giants like Tyrannosaurus or the spiny Spinosaurus that usually steal the spotlight. Today we're going to meet a group of dinosaurs that rarely appear in documentaries, but were probably among the most feared predators of their time. In this video, you'll discover why this family of dinosaurs is considered one of the most horrifying that ever existed. The Dromaeosaur family. For millions of years, long before the rise of humans, Earth was ruled by creatures that pushed the limits of evolution. Among them, one group stood out for its intelligence, agility, and ferocity. They weren't the biggest, nor the strongest, but in terms of adaptation, few could compete with the members of this predatory lineage, the Dromaeosaurs. Gifted with a finely tuned body structure refined over time, these bipedal hunters displayed an impressive balance of strength, speed, and precision. Their slender bodies hid efficient musculature, and their stiff tails functioned like living rudders, allowing rapid changes in direction during full-speed chases. Everything about them seemed calculated, as if nature itself had designed a surgical predator. With relatively large brains for their size, these animals exhibited behaviors that suggest a surprising level of intelligence. There is evidence they may have hunted in packs, coordinating attacks and ambushes with precision. That made them even deadlier. They weren't just fast, they were strategists. Utahraptor ostrommaysorum, the giant of the raptors. In the prehistoric vastness of what is now the state of Utah, in the United States, a predator of impressive proportions reigned supreme. Its name, Utahraptor ostrommaysorum. A long, almost ceremonial name, worthy of a true giant among raptors. Imagine a creature over 23 feet long, weighing around 1,100 pounds, equipped with curved, sickle-like claws capable of shredding flesh with a single strike. A predator that defied every notion of combined agility and brutality. The Utahraptor was, without a shadow of a doubt, the largest and most feared member of the Dromaeosaurid family, the infamous raptors popularized by pop culture, though their true story goes far beyond what movies have ever shown. It lived about 125 million years ago, during the early Cretaceous period. A time when the continents were still drifting apart and the global climate was warm, humid, and dynamic. The site where its fossils were found was once a coastal region filled with dense forests, shallow swamps, and a thriving ecosystem full of potential prey. There, the Utahraptor found the perfect environment to develop and dominate. But how do we know so much about this creature? It all began in 1991, when paleontologists made an extraordinary discovery in the Cedar Mountain Formation in Utah. Robust bones, enormous claws, and evidence of an animal much larger than any other raptor ever documented. It was a revelation that challenged previous assumptions about the maximum size of dromaeosaurids. The Utahraptor was real and terrifying. Its name, honoring the state where it was discovered and the paleontologists John Ostrom and Chris Mays, has become synonymous with predatory power. Its sickle-shaped claw, located on the second toe of each foot, reached nearly 10 inches in length. These natural weapons were used to stab, tear, and hold prey with deadly efficiency. Unlike other predators that relied solely on brute strength, the Utahraptor was a tactical, intelligent, and possibly social hunter. Recent studies suggest that these animals may have hunted in packs. If confirmed, this hypothesis completely changes our view of large theropod behavior. Imagine a group of Utahraptors working together to bring down an iguanodon weighing several tons, a symphony of teeth, claws, and strategy. This possibility places Utahraptor not only as an efficient predator, but also as a socially complex hunter. Its bones show incredible adaptations for running and agility. Despite its size, it was likely extremely fast, able to chase prey with persistence and precision. Its stiff tail helped maintain balance at high speeds, functioning as a biological rudder. Its legs were long and muscular, and its short but powerful arms were equipped with claws capable of inflicting serious wounds. What made Utahraptor a true monster of its time was its lethal combination of size, agility, and intelligence. It stood at the top of the food chain, but it wasn't a solitary tyrant. It was part of a complex ecosystem where it had to compete with other predators, face climatic challenges, and constantly evolve to remain dominant. Utahraptor steini, the hunter of the fossil plains. Across the Great Plains of North America, about 66 million years ago, a unique predator walked among the shadows of conifer forests and open fields, Utahraptor steini. The name Utahraptor steini was not chosen by chance. Utahraptor refers to the region where its fossils were found, the fossil-rich lands of South Dakota in the United States, and steini honors Walter W. Stein, one of the paleontologists who contributed to the discovery and study of this enigmatic animal. But what makes this raptor so fascinating is not just its name or the site of its discovery. It's the complexity of its body, its predatory intelligence, and the unique window it provides into one of the most diverse ecosystems of the Mesozoic era. Measuring about 20 feet in length and weighing between 650 and 770 pounds, the Utahraptor was one of the largest dromaeosaurids ever discovered. Its body was covered in feathers, an evolutionary heritage shared with its distant relatives, modern birds. But make no mistake, despite its feathered appearance, this was a lethal predator, with curved, razor-sharp claws on its feet, especially the sickle-shaped claw on the second toe, the trademark of raptors. Its long, muscular hind legs gave it speed. It is estimated that it could run up to 31 miles per hour, combining strength and agility in a terrifying way. Its forelimbs, on the other hand, ended in hands with sharp claws, which were likely used to grab and subdue its prey with surgical precision. Fossil evidence of Utahraptor remained scarce until its official description in 2015. Discovered in the Hell Creek Formation, the fossils were surprisingly well preserved. Fragments of skull, ribs, leg bones, vertebrae, and most importantly, the iconic second toe claw. These remains were enough for a detailed reconstruction of the animal and to reveal a new chapter in the history of the dromaeosaurids. The Hell Creek Formation is a true paleontological treasure. There, the remains of flora and fauna tell the story of the final days of the dinosaurs' reign, just before the catastrophic asteroid impact that caused the mass extinction at the end of the Cretaceous. Finding Utahraptor in this context is like discovering a missing piece of a puzzle, revealing that the ecosystem was even more complex than we once imagined. Compared to the Velociraptor, its most famous relative popularized by pop culture, Utahraptor was significantly larger, While the Velociraptor barely exceeded 6.5 feet, the Dakotaraptor was nearly 3 times that size. In addition, its morphology suggests a more robust predator, possibly specialized in hunting larger prey. Its elongated skull and sharp teeth indicate an efficient carnivorous diet. It was not a mere opportunistic scavenger, but an active predator. Evidence suggests it may have fed on young hadrosaurs, small ceratopsians, and even more dangerous prey, such as ankylosaurs, especially when hunting in groups. It was, without a doubt, an animal adapted for hunting in varied terrain, dense forests, muddy swamps, open fields, a relentless pursuer. The study of feathers in Dakotaraptor also raises fascinating questions about its physiology and behavior. Although it lacked the ability to fly, it is believed that its feathers served functions such as thermal insulation, sexual display, and possibly intraspecific communication. This brings it even closer to modern birds and sheds light on the evolutionary paths that connect the reptiles of the Mesozoic to the winged creatures we see today. Velociraptor mongoliensis, the intelligent killer of the Gobi Desert. In the arid heart of the Gobi Desert lived one of the most intriguing predators of the Mesozoic era, Velociraptor mongoliensis. At just over 6.5 feet long and about 1.5 feet tall at the hip, the Velociraptor defied the logic of size as a synonym for power. Light, agile, and incredibly fast, its body was built for efficiency. Hollow bones, similar to those of modern birds, gave it lightness. Long, muscular hind limbs propelled it into swift runs, and a stiff tail, supported by ossified tendons, acted as a counterbalance and stabilizer, allowing sharp turns during chases. But it wasn't only its physique that impressed. Its most lethal weapon was located on its feet, a retractable, sickle-shaped claw positioned on the second toe of each foot. This claw, which could exceed 2.5 inches in length, was held aloft while walking, like a sharp blade kept sheathed until the moment of attack. In combat, the Velociraptor used this claw to tear into the flesh of its prey with surgical precision, aiming for vital areas such as the neck and abdomen. Fossil evidence meticulously unearthed from the rocky deposits of the Utahraptor Formation in Mongolia revealed more than skeletons. They told stories of fatal battles. The famous fossil known as the fighting dinosaurs shows a Velociraptor and a Protoceratops locked in a deadly struggle, frozen in time. The predator's claws are embedded in its prey's body, while the herbivore retaliates with its powerful jaws, a snapshot capturing the violence and urgency of survival more than 70 million years ago. The evolutionary link with modern birds is another fascinating chapter in the story of this predator. The Velociraptor had feathers. That's right. Despite its traditional image as a scaly reptile, more recent discoveries show feather impressions on its fossilized bones. Although it likely could not fly, its feathers served important functions such as thermal regulation, visual display for communication or mating, and possibly even protection of its eggs during incubation. This characteristic reinforces its position as part of the group of maniraptoran theropods, dinosaurs that share many traits with modern birds. Feathers, lightweight bone structures, three-fingered forelimbs, and parental behavior are all elements that link the Velociraptor to the birds that now soar in the same skies where it once hunted beneath the scorching Cretaceous sun. Balaur bondoc, the Frankenstein raptor of Romania. In the shadows of the humid forests of the ancient island of Hatzeg, around 70 million years ago, a singular creature walked with confidence and precision. Its name is Balaur bondoc, and its existence defies conventions, breaks patterns, and rewrites what we think we know about theropod dinosaurs. With its unique anatomy and unsettling presence, it is often nicknamed the Frankenstein raptor of Romania. An insular predator seemingly sculpted by the hands of a surrealist artist. Compared to its more famous relatives, such as Velociraptor mongoliensis, Balaur bondoc was stocky, muscular, and surprisingly robust. Its name, which literally means sturdy lizard in Romanian, pays homage to its compact, powerful build. But its body was not just an anomaly, it was a direct evolutionary response to the isolated and peculiar world in which it lived. The island of Hatzeg, where Balaur was discovered, was an insular environment during the late Cretaceous. Surrounded by shallow seas that covered what is now Eastern Europe, this island hosted its own unique ecosystem, filled with dwarf creatures, improbable giants, and bizarrely adapted life forms. In a world limited by space and resources, evolution took twisted and unexpected paths. Balaur bondoc displayed a series of unique characteristics among theropod dinosaurs. Unlike traditional raptors, which had a single retractable claw on each foot, Balaur possessed not one, but two sickle-shaped claws on each hind limb. This puzzling detail led paleontologists to re-evaluate its position within the evolutionary tree of carnivorous dinosaurs. The presence of two functional toes equipped with curved, razor-sharp claws may have given Balaur a highly specialized hunting technique, or possibly even a unique ability for climbing or manipulating objects. In addition, its forelimbs were short but powerfully muscular, with a rare bone fusion between the arm and hand bones. This structure suggests that Balaur may have possessed unusual strength in its forelimbs, perhaps to hold onto prey, dig, or perform movements that remain a mystery to science even today. And we can't ignore its habitat. The island of Hatzeg was a natural laboratory of evolution. There, insular dwarfism was common, but Balaur seemed to follow a different path. Instead of shrinking like many of its contemporaries, it became stronger and stranger. The closed environment and limited ecological niches forced extreme adaptations. Balaur bondoc stands as living, or rather fossil, proof of how evolution, under unique conditions, can produce extraordinary results. The discovery of Balaur bondoc in 2009 caused a stir in the world of paleontology. Excavated from Maastrichtian-age rocks dating to the very end of the Cretaceous period, it brought to light both troubling and fascinating questions. How exactly did it hunt? Was it truly a predator, or perhaps an omnivore? Was Balaur an evolutionary oddity, or the ultimate example of island adaptation? Deinonychus antiropus, the raptor that inspired Jurassic Park. About 115 million years ago, there roamed a creature that, even in extinction, continues to haunt the human imagination. Its name, Deinonychus antiropus. An agile, lethal, and intelligent predator that redefined our understanding of dinosaurs. As the sun rose over the forests of the Cretaceous period, the shadow of Deinonychus moved between low shrubs and cycads. Measuring about 10 feet long and weighing around 150 pounds, this bipedal dinosaur moved with the lightness of a trained hunter. But its most iconic feature was, without a doubt, the sickle-shaped claw on the second toe of each foot, a perfect weapon, razor-sharp and capable of slicing flesh with surgical precision. Discovered in 1964 by paleontologist John H. Ostrom, Deinonychus marked a turning point in paleontology. Before its discovery, dinosaurs were thought to be sluggish, lumbering creatures, almost like giant reptiles. But the study of this predator revealed something different, an anatomy that suggested speed, agility, and perhaps even pack intelligence. Ostrom compared it not to crocodiles, but to birds, an audacious comparison that changed everything. In fact, Deinonychus laid the foundation for the modern theory that birds descended from dinosaurs. Its skeletal structure, joints, hip shape, and even posture suggested a direct lineage between Mesozoic predators and the birds of today, the missing link between the roar of the past and the song of the present. But its legacy goes beyond science. In 1993, Steven Spielberg introduced the world to a new vision of dinosaurs. In Jurassic Park, audiences met the Velociraptor, agile, fierce, intelligent. However, the creature seen on screen wasn't the real Velociraptor, which was much smaller, roughly the size of a turkey. The cinematic monster was, in fact, an almost perfect representation of Deinonychus. Michael Crichton, author of the novel that inspired the film, admitted to using the name Velociraptor because it sounded more menacing, though he drew directly from Ostrom's descriptions of Deinonychus. The image of the raptor that opens doors, hunts in packs and stares down its prey with piercing eyes was born from fossils excavated in the rocks of Montana. With long arms and curved claws, Deinonychus possessed a rare ability among theropods. It could grasp, tear, and manipulate its prey efficiently. Its serrated teeth, similar to a hunting knife, were perfect for piercing muscle and severing tendons. But what truly haunts the imagination is the idea of cooperation. Some fossils have been found in groups, suggesting social behavior and coordinated hunting tactics. Achillobator giganticus, the warrior of the steppes. In the vast, arid plains of what is now Mongolia, about 90 million years ago, a solitary warrior patrolled the steppes, its gaze fixed on the horizon. Its name, Achillobator giganticus, a fierce predator, agile in movement and sharp in mind. One of the largest dromaeosaurids ever discovered, it challenged our very image of the so-called raptors. Its name, inspired by Achilles, the hero of Greek mythology, carries the weight of legend. Achillobator literally means Achilles' warrior, a tribute not only to the powerful claw it bore on its feet, but to the combative stance its anatomy implied. It was a machine built for hunting, but also for endurance, for fighting to survive in a harsh and competitive world. Measuring about 16 feet long and weighing roughly 1,100 pounds, Achillobator stood out not just for its size, but for its bulk. Unlike its lighter cousins like Velociraptor, this was a colossus among dromaeosaurids. Its muscular body and powerful legs indicated a creature capable of pursuing, overpowering and destroying its prey with both precision and brute force. These were difficult times. The late Cretaceous of Central Asia was a land of extremes, scorching deserts, cutting winds, and a diverse fauna where every step could mean life or death. In this unforgiving setting, Achillobator reigned as an apex predator, rivaling other giants such as Asian tyrannosaurids and smaller theropods that crossed its path. Its skeleton, discovered in 1989 but only described in 1999, revealed unimaginable secrets. Scientists were intrigued by its skeletal structure, thick femurs, short tibiae, and a pelvis built more for strength than speed. This defied the classic image of the sleek, sprinting raptor. Achillobator was a different kind of raptor, more gladiator than assassin. Yet something about it still echoed its ancestors, the sickle-shaped claw located on the second toe of each foot, the same lethal weapon that made Deinonychus famous, now in even larger proportions. This claw, which could exceed 6 inches in length, was its evolutionary signature. A tool for hunting, yes, but perhaps also for dueling, asserting dominance, or even display. To imagine it in motion is to imagine a force of nature, an animal capable of sprinting short distances, with explosive bursts of speed, leaping onto its prey with calculated precision and striking with the concentrated power of millions of years of predatory evolution. Its recurved, serrated teeth sliced through flesh and shattered resistance, a quick death, or a meticulously slow one. Utahraptor mongoliensis, the raptor of silent death. In the Gobi Desert, a predator nearly forgotten by history was unearthed. A small but lethal hunter, with the eyes of a bird of prey and claws designed to kill with surgical precision. Its name echoes with a blend of mystery and menace, Utahraptor mongoliensis. For decades, its existence remained an enigma, an obscure fossil buried within sediments dating back to the late Cretaceous period. Today, with the help of modern paleontology, we can reconstruct its anatomy, behavior, and role in an ecosystem where survival depended on cunning, speed, and lethality. Utahraptor, whose name means Ada's lizard, is far more than just another raptor. It is the embodiment of silent death. Belonging to the Dromaeosaur family, Utahraptor shares a common lineage with the famous Velociraptor. However, unlike its more renowned relative, Utahraptor boasts a unique combination of traits that make it truly distinctive. Its skull, though small, reveals a reinforced bone structure, suggesting a stronger bite than that of other dromaeosaurs. Its curved, razor-sharp teeth were perfect for tearing flesh, while its forward-facing eyes provided precise binocular vision. But it is in the claw of its hind foot that its most lethal evolutionary signature lies. Sickle-shaped, this enlarged claw was its most powerful weapon. Retracted while the animal walked, it was unleashed in quick, deep stabbing motions during an attack. Like a natural scalpel, this anatomical feature stands as a testament to the predatory efficiency of Utahraptor. Measuring about 6.5 feet long, with a slender body and feathers likely covering much of its skin, Utahraptor was not the largest carnivore of its time. But as we know, size does not always define dominance. With long muscular legs, it could reach high speeds over short distances, ideal for sudden ambushes.